Excuse me.
Gotta admit, I'm impressed. Stella here tells me this was all her little ruse. No hard feelings, huh?
I'll make this easy for you. Surrender now, or we kill you.
And a sense of humor, too. I like it. Sorry for any misunderstanding. We're a shoot first, ask questions later kind of place. Never can be too careful with looters breaking and entering these days.
Don't misunderstand. We're not criticizing you. Those were fair kills. You didn't know who we were, and we didn't know you from a random looter. Thankfully, Stella fessed up.
Hey, I was just trying to have a little fun. How was I supposed to know they weren't a common criminal?
Yeah, we're all friends now. Let's skip to the part where you help me.
That's rather presumptuous. After taking out 2 of our crew, I wasn't under the impression we owed you anything.
Well, that all depends. What kind of help are you looking for?
Hold on. I have some questions first.
All right, humor me. What do you want to know?
Could you tell me anything about the kid?
Stella hasn't had it easy. Her dad was never in the picture, and her mom raised her at University Point most of her life, until the Institute torched the place. I met Stella and her mom Judy after they fled to Quincy in 2285, helped them build a life for themselves there. Then the Quincy Massacre happened.
What was the Quincy Massacre?
We can get into that some other time. Let's just say that life's greatest dangers often come not from external enemies, but from our supposed friends who pretend to work for the common cause while scheming to sabotage it. When the Minutemen betrayed Quincy, most of the residents ended up slaughtered by the gunners, Judy included. I managed to get Stella out, and we made our way north to Concord.
And that traitor Preston followed us here. I'm telling you, he was working with Clint the whole time. And now he's right down the street, and you still won't do anything about it.
We've been over this, Stella. Innocent until proven guilty. You want me to focus on keeping this place safe from the gunners? Or waste time dealing with the loudmouth fool in the silly hat?
Both. I want justice for what they did to my mom.
And like I explained, you'll get it if you have patience. Garvey will get what's coming to him eventually. But for now... Wait, hold up. You hear that?
Who's
Get
there?
some! Another notch for the gun. Last mistake!
Okay, get me.
герои фильмов про войну или про первый полет на Луну, или про жизнь одиноких сердец. У каждого фильма свой конец. Никого не жалко, никого, ни тебя, ни меня, ни его. Никого не жалко, никого, ни тебя, ни меня, ни его. Никого не жалко, никого, ни тебя, ни меня, ни его. Никого не жалко, никого, ни тебя, ни меня, ни его. Нет друзей и нет приятелей, нет врагов и нет предателей. Многим из нас уже жить не хочется.
You ain't standing out?
Все
Ain't
мы
worth looking at.
дрочим. Или дрочимся.
That was it.
All right, I guess.
Никого, ни тебя, ни меня, ни его. Никого не жалко, никого, ни тебя, ни меня, ни его. Никого не жалко, никого, ни тебя, ни меня, ни его. Никого не жалко, никого, ни тебя, ни меня, ни его.
Hey,
I was afraid those guys might show up. Thanks for your help. You alright?
I have no idea what's going on here.
It's complicated. What do you know about the Gunners?
Give me the short version.
Alright, I'll sum it up. No one's really sure where the Gunners started out. But something changed about 8 or 9 years ago. Out of nowhere, they started sporting plasma weapons, advanced combat gear, and even vertibirds. Doesn't make any sense. Where did they get all that stuff from?
That's a good question. I guess... I don't know.
People bitch about the Institute, but look at what's really been going on. Quincy, GNN, Mass Bay Medical, Mass Fusion, 2 vaults, and all the major freeways. It's the Gunners, not the Institute, who've been gaining the most ground in the Commonwealth.
How much of a threat are they?
No one invests the resources to capture those strategic locations without a larger agenda. Someone's behind it. We're just not sure who or what. At this point, there's not much to keep the Gunners from taking Good Neighbor, Diamond City, or the towns up north.
Is there a reason that you're bringing this up?
You mean besides the fact that we just got ambushed here in Concord? There needs to be a group to stand up to these assholes. Someone strong, organized, and local. And I'm not talking about the Minutemen. I mean someone with real stones.
So, what did you have in mind? I'm gonna need some more in the way of details.
Ultimately, you gotta ask yourself who you want protecting things. A bunch of Muppets who can't defend what's theirs, or hardened killers who can handle themselves.
Well, I hadn't thought of it that way.
Uncertainty is sometimes better than an overt threat. If you build a reputation for being a little crazy, your opponents are never sure what messing with you will cost. So, they tend to avoid finding out.
Settlers can't instill that kind of fear, whether it's against raiders, synths, mercs, super mutants, or even mole rats. They've proven time and again that they're incapable of deterring threats to their property over the long term. The Minutemen worked for a while, but they ended up self-destructing.
What happened to the Minutemen?
Depends who you ask. The challenge with running a militia is that volunteers inevitably have their own agendas. For a coalition to last, there needs to be a chain of command where members don't feel too constrained by your influence.
But still fear you enough to follow your lead.
Maintaining morale requires convincing soldiers to think less about themselves and more about the group. Involve them in a cause, a crusade against a hated enemy, and make them see.
Of course, it's easier said than done.
Somewhere along the way, we lost that sense of common purpose. Infighting took over, and the militia gradually splintered into different groups. Some became raiders or joined the gunners. Others just disappeared. Quincy was the final blow, and now we're back at square one.
Jesus, what a mouthful. What's the plan again?
Whether it's the Gunners, the Institute, or who knows what other groups are out there, they're too powerful to take on directly. So we've got to use our weaknesses as strengths.
If your enemy is big and you're small, then by extension, you're fast and they're slow. You're hidden and they're exposed.
So we break our forces into independent cells who can operate elusively and autonomously, fighting only the battles we know we can win, capturing the enemy's weapons and gear along the way.
And using those tools against them in the next encounter. That way, the enemy is supplying us, and we grow stronger as they grow weaker.
Makes sense, I suppose. What's our next move?
The Gunners are calculated and cautious. It's gonna take them a while to figure out what just happened, which provides us an opening. The critical elements in any campaign are speed.
Striking first, before the gunners have time to assess and formulate a response, may throw them off balance. Their nearest outpost is up on the freeway, southeast of Walden Pond. That's likely where the attack came from. The freeway wasn't particularly well guarded to begin with. Probably even less so after the raid.
I want you to head over there, take out their remaining guards, and steal their weapons, so we can fortify our presence here in Concord. Prove to me you can handle that task, and I'll have a larger project for you when you return.
And if you want bonus points, there's rumor of a raider stash over by Corvega. We'll mark the location on your map.
You seem different from most of the people here. Why is that? How did you end up here? Come on, tell me the whole story. Who were you before all this? So what are you gonna do now? Don't you think it's time you ditched that mask? What are you hiding? Have you seen yourself? I don't think it's a hard mistake to make. Why is this such a big deal to you? Hey, no pressure, right?